Hello, good evening to you all. I am looking forward to tonight. I much prefer doing lives when I get to speak to somebody. So tonight I am inviting Dr. Lori Samuels, and she will be speaking about Cupid Sting and her beautiful organization. It's Giving Tuesday, so I don't know if you've had an opportunity to give as yet, and you can do it financially. You can do it by giving your time. We're on Instagram. You can do it by giving a like. There, let me do that as a challenge for tonight. Give on Giving Tuesday by giving a like to a nonprofit, a charity, maybe a follow. All these little things help too, right? Okay. Whew. Hope you guys are having a beautiful night. Hello, good evening. And we're gonna get started shortly. We're gonna have a chat about how to protect women, which I think is extremely important, and helping a nonprofit right now on Giving Tuesday, which is great. Hello, welcome, hello. I have my water and my tea and my blanket because it is cold in here. So I hope you guys are enjoying. So hopefully Lori will be on soon. So we actually go back, oh, look at that. Hi, now I have to know how to, oh good, you know how to join on. I was about to spill the tea. And how far back we go. And then beautiful internet has reconnected us. So here's that. Hello, madam. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You look lovely.
I got the red lip for you. Got the red lip.
Right? I appreciate it. I like that we've got the lips going. Okay. How's your Tuesday so far?
It's been okay. Been posting a lot and engaging on social media, but unfortunately the donations are not coming in yet.
Just yet. That's why we're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get started. So hi everyone, my name is Minnelle. If you haven't met me before, you're on my page, so I assume you have. Anyway, today I am joined by Dr. Lori Samuels, and she is the founder of Cupid Sting nonprofit. So let her give you a synopsis on what that is first. We'll start there.
Sure thing. Good evening, everyone. So I'm a criminologist, and women's safety is very important to me, which is why I started Cupid Sting nonprofit. So essentially it is a women's safety nonprofit where I teach women life-saving skills to protect themselves inside and outside the home. So I teach self-defense, and we do a lot of workshops on violence, interpersonal violence, domestic violence, violence against women. But the crux of it is really try to teach people what healthy relationships look like, so that we can have healthier communities and so that we can reduce some of these numbers.
Yes. Now, I was thinking about this after we talked the first time. What actually got you into this? Because this isn't one of those jobs that you think, oh, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a criminologist, right?
Well, I always wanted to work in the criminal justice system, and but be on the policing side, which, you know, I am a policing expert. I have several years of experience in law enforcement. I would call myself a policing person. And it's interesting because for years, I never worked with women. I do police investigations. I investigate police officers, and that's always been my thing. But what happened in working in the police department, you see everything, right? I worked in homicide, and essentially I would see the crime stats, 24-hour period of crime stats every day. And there was a pattern that I noticed, that most of the crimes, the victims were women when we're looking at interpersonal violence. And I looked at a lot of the cases, and some of them were preventable. I'll give you a quick example. So you come home at night, you decide you want to go for a run, it's dark, you don't let anybody know, you put your headphones in and you run in a dark forest by yourself, and you get attacked.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just about like, let me see if there are some things that we could do proactively so that we're thinking smarter. And then on the other side, when we're talking about domestic violence, I wanted to offer women skills that they can employ to protect themselves if they're ever abused in the home. So that's how the program developed.
The why behind it. Okay. So part of how I got connected with you again was through your Cupid Sting convos. And I heard a convo, I wrote her name down so I remember this time. Marianne.
Marianne.
Yeah. Yeah, one of her convos speaking about her life experience and just what she's gone through in the home. So can you speak to what we can do as women in the home to protect ourselves?
Sure. I think that we need to take it back to the beginning when you actually start dating, because a lot of times the red flags present themselves early on. You know, sometimes we think, not we, some people, I'm sorry. Sometimes there's a subset of women out there that think that when their men pay a lot of attention, undue attention, that it's cute and it means that they love them. So when I say that, I mean things like calling them, you know, every 20 minutes, making sure that they know their schedule and know where they are at every moment of the day, telling them how to dress, and then monopolizing all of their time so that they're isolated. And sometimes people equate that to love, right? So now you're dating, it's cute, then you get married, or you're living together, and it's not so cute anymore when you're isolated. You know, so the activities that you used to be involved in, you're no longer involved in, and everything is focused on this one person. And I can't even remember the question you asked me because now I'm just kind of like babbling. But
it was how we protect ourselves in the home. So yes.
Right. So these flags present themselves early on, and now you're with each other now with COVID 24/7. And then what do you do? So the main thing that I tell women all the time is to pay attention. Pay attention to your partner's moods. Pay attention to what's going on. And you might have to do things like move furniture around. And I say that because I've done assessments, like in-home assessments, where, you know, a battered woman might be getting hurt all the time, head injuries, because she's hitting her head on the coffee table in the living room. So you might have to do something simple, again, to protect yourself, to move the furniture around so that if you are involved in a fight with your partner, that you're not getting seriously injured. But let me go back to paying attention. So drinking, any stressors, which we all have a lot right now, things like, you know, maybe they lost their job, maybe their hours are reduced, you know, there could be some deaths in the family where they don't have healthy outlets, and you know that because you know this person intimately. So if you start seeing the tension rise, my main suggestion would be to remove yourself from that situation. So it may be, if you're in a big house, that you can go from the bedroom to the basement, say, for example. But I would prefer that you remove yourself out of the house, okay? Let that person cool down. Maybe if they're drinking, let them sober up and come back, because cooler heads always prevail. And it's funny, I've taught self-defense classes and women come in and say, teach me how to beat up a man. Easier said than done, right? Yeah. You know, I'm trained. Even women that carry guns cannot beat up men because they're just physically bigger. So my recommendation, my suggestion is just to be smarter. So again, know the signs, know the moods, remove yourself, and then if you can't, yeah, you fight.
Yeah. So that was my next question, because I'm thinking of, like, me, I'm not so big here, and even in play fighting, I think, ooh, this is so play fighting. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, like I am no match to you.
Correct.
So what are some things we can do?
So the main thing is that I want women to always remember that you matter, and in saying that, you need to fight for your life. A lot of times what happens is, let's say the first time, you know, you're so shocked, like, how could the person that I love, that I married, that's perhaps the father of my children, treat me this way? But you have to push all those feelings aside and you have to like really breathe. You have to kind of really get control of what's going on. Because if somebody pushes you up against the wall, say for example, and has their hand around your throat, are you going to give up? Are you just going to go limp? And a lot of times that's what happens, because you're in your head thinking, how is it possible that this is even happening? So you really have to get control. You have to breathe. And for the main thing is just keep breathing. Don't black out. Do everything that you can to stay conscious, because if you black out and you're on the ground, they can do whatever they want with you. So yeah, you're going to have to fight. It might not be pretty. It might not be perfect, because a lot of times, you know, people are like, let me write that down. Step 1, step 2. No. You know, step 1 might be step 4, but, you know, use what you have to your advantage to get out of that situation alive.
Wow. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. In my mind, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I can't imagine I'm with somebody and it goes from, you know, maybe they're really watching what I'm wearing, maybe they really are controlling me a little bit, but I'm okay with it, or someone is okay with that. And from there to you having me up against the wall, is there not somewhere in between where I can do something before that point?
Sure. Pay attention. Pay attention. So let's suppose in a perfect world we weren't in COVID, and we were able to go out like normally, you know, Friday night, maybe going out to dinner, maybe I don't know what people do. I go to the gym, going to the gym. So let's use the dinner as an example. You go to dinner with your partner, and let's suppose they order a meal and something's not right about the meal, and they blow up at the waitress. And I mean blow up, cursing, raising their voice to the point, so think about this, to the point where you're like embarrassed, like you just want the ground to swallow you up, okay? And so what happens a lot of times, okay, then that's resolved. You think, he was just having a bad day, you know? He has a lot of stress at work. Blah, 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 you know, that excuse. But it's the building of the pattern of the way he behaves. How is he when he's hanging out with his friends? Is he drinking a lot? Is he demeaning women? Does he have a good relationship, if his mother's still alive, with his mother, with females in his family, cousins and sisters? You have to like really look at that and pay attention. And when I talk to women about dating, I've had a lot of heated discussions with women about, why don't you check out the guys that you're dating? So you might not have a lot of information, but you can Google him. You'll find a lot of stuff.
Oh, wait, I have my investigators that anybody I meet, I'm like, here's the details. Do me a favor. Go and check them out. You know, here's to all the investigators. By the way, sorry guys, I didn't mention this before, but if you that are on the live, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments as well, and I will ask them. I have another question here. So,
sure.
Outside of like taking it out of the immediate situation, is there anything that we can do, or what can we do as outsiders if I suspect that someone is in a relationship that's...
I'm so glad you asked that question, because, you know, as West Indians, a lot of times it's like, you know what? We're not getting in anybody's business. That's her business. That's their business. It's auntie, it's uncle, you know, whatever. But guess what? It's all of our business. You know, what I keep telling people is that you don't want to get that phone call hearing that the cousin that is your best friend, that you're like months apart in age, was killed by her husband. We all know when something is, I'm not going to say going on, you're not in the home, but we all know when something's off, when something's not right. When you are like talking to your homegirl like 10 times a day and then radio air silence, something's going on. So my suggestion to people is check on people, especially now. So let's just even take domestic violence off the table. It's COVID. People are depressed. They're having so many issues just dealing with this reality. Check on your people. So if that means a text, a phone call, a very safe drive-by where you're socially distanced, check on your people, because a lot of times people just need to know that somebody is there to support them, and they may just tell you what's going on because they don't know where else to turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Question here. So, what age can we start speaking to girls about this? And what language do you use when speaking to girls?
I say as early as possible, and this applies to both girls and boys. So, 3, 4, just like you would when you're talking to your family members, your daughters, about how men, if a man touches you, if somebody says something to you, you need to start showing, or we need to start showing good examples, right? Good examples of what healthy relationships look like between a mommy and a daddy, two mommies, two daddies, whatever the case may be. We need to show what that looks like. And I think showing that example is the main thing. And let's suppose you have a little girl and you and your husband get into a fight and your little girl cries because she doesn't want mommy to be sad. That's a teaching opportunity that no one's supposed to yell at you. When somebody that, loves you, people can disagree, but I've got a woman on my team and she says it all the time. No one has the right to shout at you. You know what I mean? I think we need to get to the point, we're all adults. You're going to get upset. You're going to disagree, but the screaming and the yelling, leave that outside. So I would say in terms of age, when they can understand. And I really do think that kids are smart, 4, 5, you start telling them they're beautiful, they can do anything, and no one has the right to say bad names about them or to say bad things or to hurt them. Start early, because when they become teenagers and start dating, they'll hopefully certain behaviors they will not accept.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You do other tips. You were talking about the tips with the earphones. That one I have applied.
Yes.
Can you speak about that just so people know what else you're doing?
Sure, yeah. So one of the main things we do at Cupid Sting is to talk a lot and teach situational awareness. And again, it's driving home the point that we need to pay attention. So a lot of times, women are afraid of, what's going on the street. You go pump gas or go to the store, if anybody's going to the store right now. Shopping, okay, when we used to, or just walking down the street, just people are afraid of, that dark figure, that stranger. So if you're afraid, pay attention. And one of the main things is the headphones, okay? We are so attached to our devices, right? We love our phones, we're texting, we're on IG, whatever the case may be. But my recommendation to the ladies out there in terms of awareness, put the phones away. If you're walking down the street, if it's from your car to a business, if it's the bus stop to home, whatever the case may be, you need to have your wits about you. You need to be able to hear what's going on and see what's going on, okay? Because a lot of times it's too late. The person's already on you. They have your purse. They've already knocked you to the ground. And it could be something really simple. If they knock you to the ground and you hit your head, that could be it for you. So pay attention. Put the devices down. Don't walk and text. You might get hit by a car. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I think your life is worth 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I started doing that every time I'm in a building. I used to take that time to send a quick message or do anything, and I stopped and said, I don't even know who was in the elevator with me because I never saw them because I was on my phone. I was like, I have to stop this and pay attention.
And you know what will happen? So you say that you don't even know who that is. Then you call the police because you were attacked, and they say, Miss, could you tell me what he looked like? Was it a man? Was it a woman? Were they black? Were they white? Were they tall? Were they short? And you're going to say, I don't know. Because you weren't paying attention. Yeah. So let's reduce the opportunities for criminals out there. That's what I have to say.
Absolutely. That is perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, can you tell us about your event that you have coming up for Giving Tuesday?
Sure. So today is December 1, 2020, which is Giving Tuesday across the globe. And it's a really nice opportunity for people to slow down and give to charities. It's the end of the year. So what we've done this year is that we're focusing on the region of Peel specifically. The numbers for domestic violence are so high even to the point where half the homicides in the region of Peel are domestic violence related. Okay, so half the homicides. So I'm really trying to work in the community and help women out, because I think a lot of times they don't know where to turn. We have a lot of newcomers in the community, and maybe they don't know how things are done. And I'm really trying to create a safe space. Unfortunately, now it's virtual or over the phone. But what I'm telling people is that I'm here to help. So I've got some new resources, some virtual programming, because of course before we were doing everything face to face. So one of the main things is that I developed a webinar called Wits Not Weapons, which is looking at domestic violence in the region of Peel and offering some support and some tips on women's safety during COVID. Again, just ensuring that women know what to do, where to go, who they can reach out to. So we kicked off the fundraising campaign this morning with that. And if you donate $10, 10 Canadian dollars, if you donate $10, you will get access to this free web, along with a copy of my novel, which is called Dear Diary, which is a domestic violence homicide. It features a domestic violence homicide. But we're really doing everything. I put videos out almost every day on crime tips, trying to help women out, statistics, even information on some of the other resources that are available in communities in the GTA. So that's what we're doing. We're doing fun things like quizzes, jumping on lives like this. And while it's a very serious topic, we want people to enjoy themselves. But, again, you can come to me for anything. I say it all the time. My phone rings all hours of the night. But I really need the help from the community, because everything that I do for Cupid Sting is me and my team. But when it comes to the financial backing, it's, coming out of, my personal pockets. So I really, really need the assistance, especially with COVID, because we've been decimated in terms of grants.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for
You're
sharing
welcome.
that. I love your Instagram page. So if you guys don't follow her, please follow Cupid Sting, because there's lots of really good information. Question: how do organizations get in touch for workshops, talks, or anything else that you have going on?
Sure thing. So first, please follow my page. In my bio is the link where you'll see a list of everything that's available, including the website. And that information is available on the website. So of course we do domestic violence, we do healthy relationships, we do bystander intervention, and of course self-defense. And I would love to work with any of the organizations in the community. I can set something up. Me and my team can set something up for you, and we would love to do something for you.
Thank you. Before we start wrapping up here, anything that you want to share that I might not have asked that you're thinking, I want to talk about this?
Well, the main thing is I'd love to share the link for the fundraisers. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comment field. The main thing is that I think a lot of times women that work in the field don't look like me. And I'm looking around in the community, and there are a lot of women that look like me. And I'm just saying that to say that I want you to feel comfortable. When it comes to confidentiality, everything is kept in-house. I will only do something if you want me to do it, or if you need assistance with that. I'm not, getting in touch with your abuser or the police. Unfortunately, a lot of times women don't call the police because they don't trust the police, and they're scared what's going to happen. And a lot of times the process is very long when you move a case through the criminal justice system. But I want you to feel comfortable. Any question you have, if I don't have the answer, I'm going to do the research and get that answer for you. And again, this is not about me. This is about reducing the numbers. This is about the person that asked the question about how young do you start teaching your daughters. This is about your daughter growing up safe in her community, in a healthy relationship. That's what this is about.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I remember my mom, when I was growing up, my mother used to volunteer with victim services.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. And she would come home and she'd be leaving all nights and everything, dealing with a lot of the same stuff. So what you're doing is so, so important. Thank you.
Thank you. And it hasn't changed, right? It's only unfortunately gotten worse, or it's hidden because a lot of times abusers will put on a certain face. I'm just putting this link in. And so everybody thinks that they're like the pillar of the community. And when the doors shut, they're beating their wife and terrorizing their children when they see their mother being beat up. So that's the link for the GoFundMe. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you for sharing it. I will put it up when I post this live. I'll put it up there in the comments as well. Okay.
There's Wayne. Right.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, I didn't call out all my hello, everybody. Then. All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Are there any volunteer counseling programs available for victims of domestic abuse?
Absolutely. The nice thing about this area and this topic is that there are a lot of women that are taking up this mission, especially survivors. And there are a couple. Dandelion Initiative in Toronto offers some free counselors for survivors. And Peel specifically, it's the, I always forget this one, I think Interim Place Appeal. What I'll do is I'll find the exact name and message you so that when you post this, you'll have the correct name. They are funded by the government, so you can call them 24/7, and they offer counseling, they offer assessments, resources, anything that you need. And same thing, if they don't have the answer, they will find the answer to you. So yes, there are a lot of free resources, and then of course you can rely on Cupid Sting as well.
Is there a way for people to volunteer?
Absolutely. Please reach out to me. So if you follow me on Cupid Sting, you can send me a DM, or you can email me at info@cupids, CUPIDS, STING.org. So 2 S's. And yeah, we can talk. I would love the help. The women that I have working with me right now let me give a shout out to Empower Brampton. They are so passionate and so wonderful. And this is the way, growing this movement, this is the way we're going to reduce these numbers.
That's it. The more we talk about it, the more we share and bring it into the front. Actually, someone made the same comment that it's become a default setting for the abusers to be hidden behind the cultural screen as well. Right? And we don't talk about it. We just keep everything hush hush, family business, don't put it out there. So it's so important to actually share now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I don't even know what time it is, so I don't know how long we have on these lives, but if you guys have any questions, put them in now before we shut it down. But
max,
okay. Well, we got time. Okay. And then if as people need more information, it's there. Let me ask them, what was my my other, do you have any Cupid Sting convos coming up? I think if you guys don't know what they are, tell them a little bit what that is.
Sure. So I instituted this in the summer, where I jump on a live like this with a topic related, to women's safety, and sometimes some outside, but not necessarily. We talked about the invisibility of Black women in technology once. That's directly related to your safety as well, because when you're talking about certain technologies, that if it's not recognizing your skin color, then it can harm you. So I was doing them weekly and bi-weekly, and we jump on and we talk about people's experiences with domestic violence or doing work around this. One time my girlfriend Brooke jumped on and we talked about therapy and mindfulness and the importance of self-care as it relates to your safety. So yeah, I just find like cool, interesting people that are up with the cause, and we talk about it. And the live that you discussed was specifically with a survivor. So we have survivors as well. And It's really nice because we just kind of let things happen organically, and they are so rich and they are so real. And the women that I speak to are so brave. I just love what they're putting out in the world. And that's, that's kind of how it's happening. So we had one last week on the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So last Wednesday. And this Friday, I'm going to be talking to one of the local city councilors just about, what's going on with domestic violence in Peel and, what is the government doing about it. So if anybody would like to do a live and talk about this issue, or, hey, if you know anybody, any funders that want to help out, let me know. But again, the more we talk about it, the less we sweep it under the rug, the more help that we can get women out there.
Exactly. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. I've pinned your GoFundMe. So if anyone is looking for the links that you can get to the Wits Not
Weapons.
That's it. I was like, that's not right.
Women's safety. Yeah. Yeah.
Wits Not Weapons. So if you need the link to join that webinar, it is there, and you get your free book as well. So you get two things and you get to support. So thank you there.
And we appreciate all the support. We're always looking for partners. So please reach out. Please reach out. I promise I won't bite. Please reach out. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate this because we're talking about something heavy, but it's a light, it's a fun conversation. We're able to learn, share, and still enjoy the time. So it's good. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. You know where to find us. You've got both of our contact information. So I'll see you whenever I do another live. All right.
Good.
Thank you, Dr.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night. Wait a second, because it always takes an extra second. Comment to come through, and someone might be writing down your thing. Ooh, and we.
I hope so.
Yes.
Help us out. Right.
There's all these people. There's so much going on right now. So.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of nonprofits are in the same boat, but the work doesn't slow down, and in fact, it's picked up. It's really picked up since March. Which is fine, but we just, we need the help from community partners. We really do. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Later. Bye. Take care.